It's also kind of odd not clicking admit from the waiting room. So, all right, well, I think I want to go ahead and get started. I know we still got a couple filtering in, but um, it's gonna be. I've got a couple of simple things that I want to show you guys. Eric has a few things to talk about as well, and then I'm gonna open it up to any questions that you guys have, and any places that you're still having issues with Canvas um, afterwards, because it seems like there have been a lot more issues than I really knew about that I just haven't been hearing about. So we'll see if we can take care of any of those today. But the first thing that I want to show you guys is a way to modify the due dates of all of your assignments from a spreadsheet. So, one of the big things that I did back when we were mapping for the semester is I went through and I put pretty much all of my assignments in with due dates. And then, because of the way things have played out and not having a clue um, how things were going to go in terms of time, a lot of my due dates changed, and which ordinarily wouldn't be a big deal, except it automatically marks things as missing and zeros when that happens. And it's just kind of a pain in the neck, especially because it's hard to remove the missing tag. Um, so what I use, and I did a little googling to find this originally, but it's a spreadsheet that you make a copy of, and it runs a little script. I'm going to show you how this works real quick. So let me copy the spreadsheet link and paste it into the chat, which apparently I have set to. There we go. So if you were to open this spreadsheet, it would take you to. I guess I should actually show you what I'm looking at. Here we go. So it opens up this spreadsheet. It's called Course Due Dates VD or V2D. For the record, I did not make this myself, but you make a copy of it and just save it somewhere in your Google Drive. And well, here I guess I'll go through the steps since I've already done it, and I want you to see the course that I'm following here. So once you make a copy of it, it will open it in a new tab, and this is pretty simple to do, but it gives you some instructions right here, and it says be sure to follow uh, the stuff that's on this page, but let's see here. Here we go. So it opens up this page when you click on the link, and there's a few things that you have to check, which is make sure that the time in your Google Sheet is right, and it is. This was created by somebody in Wichita originally, so it's already set to Central Time Zone. You don't have to mess with anything like that. But all right, so after you've checked that, if you give it a few seconds, there's going to be a new menu that pops up here at the top next to the word help called Canvas. And this is where, once that loads up, what you have to do is go to Canvas and find the course that you want to edit your assignments for. So for mine, I'm going to use my Introduction to Industrial Technology class, and you just copy the URL from the top. Inside of the file, you go to the Canvas menu and choose Specify Course, and then it's going to ask for authorization, which you just have to do the sign-in just like every other service that we have attached to Canvas and such so far. And it'll just take a second or two. We have to put. Oh yeah, I did forget about that part. So you have to paste in everything about the the URL except for your course information. So just piperschools.instructure.com. Sorry, I forgot about this step, or I would have indicated that there were going to be a couple more steps. You do only have to do this once, though. So, and to do that, it wants an access token. So you come back to Canvas, go to your account and settings, and don't forget I am recording all of this, so we can find it. But once you go to settings inside of your account, you just click New Access Token and tell it what it's for. I just had Google Sheets due dates. And then I don't want it to expire so that I can use this year after year. The real, like in addition, like in a normal year, the biggest use for this is making my course ready for next year. So next time I want to use this, I'll have to change all of my due dates for it to be valid for next semester or next calendar year. Anyway, I just click Generate Token. And then I just have to copy this right here, up here at the top. And come back over here to our Google Sheet and paste it in and click Submit. As long as you did that part right, it'll say success. And then we go back to copying the URL like I was, before I skipped a step. So, I accidentally clicked calendar. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to copy the URL from the top. Come to my Canvas menu again. Choose Specify Course. Here's what I was expecting before. Paste that in place. It verifies that this is the course that I want, so my P1 Intro to Industrial Tech. I'll click Yes. And it's running a script up here, and as soon as it's done, so right now it's paging through Canvas to find all of the information about my class. As soon as it says Finish Script, you click on the Canvas menu again and choose Load Due Dates. And then it'll load it again, which just takes a couple of seconds. As soon as it's finished, it's going to create a new sheet that has your due dates in it. It may not like it because I've already got it running over here. Okay. So, just like half of the things that I seem to be doing in my classes lately, we're running into a mild press cancel to keep the information. Load course due dates. Okay, I don't know what the goof is, and it may be because I've already got this connected to another folder. So let me open, or another spreadsheet. So let me open that one up real quick, which is in my classroom. Here we go. All right, so this is the sheet that it will pull up for you when it works right. And I am assuming that it's, like I said, just because I've already got it connected to this spreadsheet. Let me run that, click yes. There we go. Okay, so what we see here is all of the assignments that I have created inside of my Introduction to Industrial Technology class. Now there are a lot more here than I'm actually using this semester because I just have been, just different assignments I've created throughout the years that I've been copying this course around. But you can see here, anything with a due date is an assignment that is visible to the students and will sync with Skyward when you click the sync button. So I can go through and change the due dates for each and every one of these. I can put when they're available for the students to see them and when I want them to disappear, which most of the time, unless there is an assignment that I want to, like, there's a solid you can't mess with this afterwards, then I don't even put anything there. I can specify how many points it is, um, if I want it published or not. So 1 is published and 0 is not. There is a type here, but you can't really change that. And you also can't change, you can specify points for a quiz, but it won't keep it because the points for a quiz is based on how many you put in when you made the quiz. But you can go through and modify all of this when needed. And when you're happy, you just come back up to Canvas again and choose Save. And it will post all of these changes back to your Canvas course. So when I come in here, I didn't change anything, but all of my due dates, like that you can kind of see if it wasn't so small, underneath each assignment and how many points. So it's been very useful for me this semester when, things have changed due to pacing issues, but it's also really helpful like next semester because this is a semester long course. I can go through and make all of those changes at the beginning of the year and then modify them as I go. So, yeah, and that's pretty. See, that was the first thing that I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you were following along or if you guys were just watching, but um, I don't know if you need any help with this, I'd be happy to help at any point in time. I'm assuming, like I said, my demonstration of setting it up didn't work because I'd already done it. But any questions so far, or any inputs there, Mr. Maybe?
No, I think you're good. And again, like Mr. Rumba said, is we have this on video, so you can go back and look at it. It'll become a very important example for the end of the semester when we reload second semester, depending on if you have a course that's going to go again second semester. But at the end of the year, this is a huge help. Saves so much time loading stuff for next.
So, all right. So the next thing that I want to talk about real quick is how to get students. So a lot of us do handwritten work and have it submitted. I usually use an app called Rocketbook, which Tori and I have both extolled the virtues of quite a bit. But there is a way to do it inside of the student app for Canvas, and I want to show you that real quick. So let me flip over to the screen. Just a second. There we go. Alright, so I would imagine that this is going to spite me and decide not to. Oh, there we go. Cool. Okay, so this is basically what's on my phone right now, and I'm launching the student app. For the record, this is exactly the same steps that you would do to get the teacher's app to work as well. So if you wanted Canvas to be on your phone or your iPad, or Android for that matter, you would just download it from your app store. And when you load it, it says Find My School, and you can search for the school. But the easiest way to log in is to have Canvas open in your browser, click on your account profile, and then it'll actually walk you through this in the app. There we go. Sorry, I keep trying to pull this off screen, and every time I do, it stops working. But it'll walk you through. So click on QR for mobile login, and then it asks for access to my camera. Click proceed, and it brings up this QR code that I just have to point at, and it'll go ahead and log me in. There we go. Allow it to send me notifications. Now, I have this set up, and I didn't think about this beforehand because I don't have any courses where I am a student at the moment. But so once they're in here, you can see all of their courses, or the students can. And let's say I wanted to turn in something for drafting. That's a good example. Go to the modules that I have set up, and let's say I was turning in Lab 10C. If I was a student, or if I was a student in this class, I would have a big old submit button up here at the top, right in this area. And as soon as I clicked that, I would have the option to upload a file. But in addition to that, I would also have an option to immediately take a picture. And then it would submit that as well. So if you do handwritten work, this is a really good way for that to happen without adding other apps to the phone. And the reason that I don't like it, though, for my assignments, is that it's kind of it's not blurry, but it doesn't. It's not a scan; it's a picture, and there's a difference. Anyway, but that's a really quick way to have things uploaded from within the Canvas app for the student. Similarly related to this is the Teachers app for Canvas, which if you have an iPad, let me switch over to that real quick. And I'll have to modify this real quick. Lonely screen, unlock. So this is an app that I paid for that lets my computer act as like an AirPlay receiver. So if you have an Apple TV, you could send your phone to it. But anyway, so here, let me pull this up. There we go. And open the Teachers app. Okay, so you would sign into it just the same way as you could on the regular phone or on the computer or on any Android device. But the biggest key point that I want to show you guys about the Teacher app is the to-do section. So, for example, I have a list of all of the assignments that have been turned in. That's what would show up right here. And let's see, let's take a look at Lab 10B. So I pull this up, and there we go. Oh, no. So I can see here the scanned paper that was turned in to me. I can put my grade in here. I can put comments in. This will work. Actually, there is a Windows Store version of this, and when we guys get your new teacher laptops, there is an option that we can purchase a pen for them to be able to do this. Now, like, I can use my finger. I can say, this isn't aligned. Well, okay. So it senses my pencil is attached, and I can write. So I can write directly on it. I can circle things. I can say this line and that line should be equal, and make any kind of annotation that I want to this. And when I click done, not only will my grade be automatically submitted to the gradebook, but the comments that I have made here will be available for them to see. And the other thing that you guys might not have known yet is that when you make a comment in this section over here, and this even works from the computer, that comment shows up in Skyward. So if the students look at their grades in Skyward, or the parents, any comment that you leave, no matter how long it is viewable in Skyward. Which, if you've ever tried to enter comments in Skyward, there's like a 32 character limit. This completely breaks it, and it's perfect. But so anyway, that was basically what I had to show here. Any questions or any input, Mr. Maybe? I know we've got about 4 minutes left. I talk a lot.
No, you're good. A lot of people have questions. Let's go ahead and get those first. I can go through really a easy way to see your grade sync if that's an issue on anyone's end. Is there any questions for the good of the group before we go any further? any issues you're having on anything in Canvas.
Um, yeah, I have once in a while I have a strange shadow. Like for example, I entered an assignment this week, and a second one showed up on the same in the same module, and so I went, back to my quizzes. There's only one um, in my quiz or assignment section, so I went back over to the platform, and there's still two there. So I went to delete it, the echo or whatever you want to call it, and both of them disappeared. And so, I mean, it was just so weird. So I reloaded it, two showed back up on the same page for the same class. But only one was recorded. So I guess it's okay, but I don't know why it did that.
So without looking at it specifically, what I think you copied that quiz from someplace else?
Yes.
Okay, you have basically you are correct, it's a shadow. You have two versions of that same quiz. And when you bring it back in, it's seeing both versions. And it should not show up in your gradebook twice, so you are fine. But it is an annoyance because I've done that before, where initially I would try and copy a quiz down to another part of the same class, and then it doesn't like that. I have to basically make a new one. So
I've also had a few things that won't sync over to Skyward, and they're labeled correctly, but they just won't.
not a problem. Hey, I'll take a note of that one, and I can come look at them specifically. That actually brings me to what I was kind of going to show you guys. I'm going to share my screen really quickly. Hopefully you guys can see my actual Canvas. And again, actually, Mr. Brumbaugh, you are now a student in one of my classes. I just
Okay.
put you in there.
Thank you.
On the left-hand side, hopefully you guys see your home modules, grades. Those are the easy ones. If you do not see grade sync on your panel, you can go to settings, and mine's going to be ever so slow. And please make certain you have grade sync up there. It's a good tool to use, and this is why a lot of teachers will be like, hey, I did my sync, everything's good. But if you click on grade sync, of course, it's not going to sit there. Awesome. Okay, so here, this is the power of grades. All of the times I would sync my grades would show up here. The important is, let me pull up another class really quick. I know we're about out of time. Let me take a look at physics. Come on. And the way it goes. You want things to move fast and it never does. Grade sync, and hopefully...
Here, I've got it yeah, okay.
Please do. Mine is all erased.
Alright, so can you see my screen right now? My Zoom is Did I close it? Are we there? Hello? Are
You're there.
Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry. I meant forget it. Okay, so I think what you're trying to show is this section right here, right?
You are correct.
So I have a green check mark completed, and it says that it's sunk 20 assignments. If you have anything else other than completed here, you can click on it, and it will let you know what the issue is. So sometimes it's one assignment that is outside of the due dates, which is a problem right now. If you have something due before, if you have your stuff due on Sunday nights, and it's due this coming Sunday, it's not going to sync because that's in between quarters, according to Skyward. Some other things that have happened, it doesn't have a due date or any number of things, but that's the first place to go to see what the error with your sync is. It's the status right here, and I think if I click on this one, it'll show me which ones have sunk and the last time that they did sync. So, but we are actually a minute over time now. If you guys have any questions, you can email both of us, and we'll have this posted, probably one of the future ones because it'll be less jarring. This is the first time.
I'll just
But
add one thing, and if you guys have an error or see something that doesn't work right, please take a screenshot of it. It actually does help a lot when we go back and try and figure out the problem. So, as we said, any questions, shoot us an email, please.
all right, bye guys.
Okay.
Okay, I think I got it so that we're not only chatting privately. I thought I had unchecked that, but
No worries.
all right.
As soon as, give me one. Okay. Hey, you still there?
Yep.
Okay. Actually, that was really good. Hey, see if you can open your student app and see if you can see that other course.
I saw that you just added them, so that should be good. Do you have something where you've got to submit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any of the early modules, you're good.
Okay.
Like the first, I think 3 or 4 should be good to go.
All right. Cool beans. All right. There's that. There's that. Yeah, I've got energy. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, excellent.
All right. I have absolutely no idea how many people we're waiting for in this one, so.
Science, social studies, and math, so a good number.
Okay. Oh, oops.